Teacher, I wrote this song for you, to thank you for every smile.
Phone a friend.
I know you had a lot to do.
Defend your answer. It's wait, 5 nickels is more coins. Yes! Give that boy a hand.
Become a student in Janet Daney's first grade classroom and you'll catch on real fast. You'll learn what phone a friend means when you can't quite find the right answer. Or how about a malt down instead of meltdown? Malt standing for mistakes are lessons too. These are just a few of the teaching techniques Miss Daney uses to fill her classroom with learning. It begins every morning when her students walk through this door with a sign that reads, World's Best Class.
Problem solving, look at my face. Pop test. Jasmine, would you rather have $1 or 5 nickels?
The children who are fortunate enough to have Miss Daney as a teacher know that the way she teaches is different or out of the ordinary. But the way she makes them feel is always extra special.
Well, she's an excellent teacher and she teaches us like a lot of stuff like science, math, social studies, and other things.
When you wake up in the morning and you get to come to school and you think about Miss Daney's class, how do you feel?
Great and happy.
Happy to learn, and as happy as her students are to be in her class, Miss Daney is just as happy to teach.
I always knew that I wanted to be a teacher just from the time I was little. There was never a choice in my mind. I didn't come from a family of teachers. I just knew I wanted to be a teacher.
And that's exactly what Janet Daney has been doing for the past 32 years. Teaching kindergartners, first graders, second graders, and third graders. Teaching them to read, write, and count, combined with a healthy dose of compassion, love, and discipline.
A lot of our little people come to school with baggage, and I can't change that baggage. I can't change anything that happens at home, but I can sure build them up, lift them up, and no matter what their level is, I can help them.
And according to her students, Miss Daney has an extra special way of lifting her little ones up.
She calls us silly names, and that she says silly words and she does silly stuff. She calls us family, and sometimes I don't know what else. She makes jokes. She calls us lots of names.
Like what?
Like dudes and dudettes.
It's not only Miss Daney's jokes and silliness that wins her praises from her students. It may also have something to do with the fact that she goes above and beyond to let them know they truly matter. An idea inspired by one troubled student who was particularly angry has turned into a successful mentor program.
One day he'd had a food fight and he called somebody a bad name, so I said, how about we get you a mentor? And he looked at me and said, okay, but I want a dude that wears a tie and I want him to be a pastor. I'm like, okay, great. So I went over to Solid Rock on Ayers, went in and I found a guy who's a pastor. He said, I don't wear a tie, but I'll see if I can find one. He came and he was a mentor to this little guy. He made a world of difference. He stayed with him for 3 years.
6 years later and still strong. At the beginning of each school year, Miss Daney personally matches mentors to each and every student in her class. And according to her principal, Miss Daney not only finds mentors, but is a mentor herself.
And you know, first grade and fifth grade teachers don't always have an opportunity to have conversations. But we have fourth and fifth grade teachers that will go down and ask Miss Daney, hey, what do you think about this? And she will put it in context and help them.
This leads us back to the classroom. And what do we find? More engaging lessons with Miss Daney at the head of the class. A classroom where even adults can find meaning.
When I first observed her classes, I thought, you know, is this lady for real? I mean, is she always like this? And sure enough, when I was having a bad day, I would go into her classroom because it would bring it all back to me. This is why we're educators.
And Janet Daney is an educator who has plenty of love both for her students and from them.
She's just a great, awesome teacher. I don't know what to do with her.
But be sure, Miss Daney knows what to do and plans to continue making sure her dudes and dudettes get the solid foundation they need to be a successful student.
I get up every day and I come to work and I love what I do.